Hello friends, my name is Shivam from DevOps Schools and I will help you to enable your learning process in various technologies of DevOps, artificial intelligence, machine learning, big data and many more. This is our initiative to help you by sharing multiple tutorials and videos. And if you want any specific tutorials or any particular topic, then please do comment in the below comment section and I will help you with it. Also, please subscribe to our premium services on YouTube, which will give you access to more content and videos to enhance your knowledge about all these topics. Also, if you want me to help you with regards to the online trainings and classroom sessions by our qualified trainers, then please do write me at contact@devopsschool.com. Thank you.
Getting my punch?
Yep.
Okay, guys, let's move on. See here, guys. Here we have a pod one, okay, and two containers are there. Main container, sidecar container, and main container is running on 80 port. Sidecar container is running on 5000 port. So both containers, if you want to access from outside of the network, outside of the pod, you can use the pod network, that 15.80 and something, 15.5000. But internally, they can access through the localhost 80, localhost 50,000. Now here, you see one container is there, which you can access over the network. Look at this. So typically one pod, one container is a good thing. So interpod communication, how you do that? Yes, remember again, I'm repeating, inter-pod communication is done on the pod network. Pod network, yes, Kubernetes also lay down one network, pod network. And the networking rule I said again, if you forgot, let me read out, let me help you to read one more time. It's important, so I'm going back. Please read one more time. This is the networking requirement. Please read it.
Pod network we can understand, but how all nodes can communicate with all pods? That is a bit confusing.
I can help you. I can make you understand. But the thing is, I'm thinking whether should I do it now, because uh, I think I should talk in the service section. That will be okay. So let's wait for last day morning sessions. Service sessions, I'll explain it. Please remind me.
Okay. Okay.
Okay, move on. So guys, yeah, see, same containers, they can communicate with each other localhost from outside IP address of the pod. So what is a pod, guys? One or more containers it contains. It's your application. What is a pod? It can be your application, it's your service. What is service? Don't worry, I'll talk about it. Service is pending topic. The most basic unit of work in Kubernetes, unit of scheduling in Kubernetes. It's in parallel. Yeah, that's important. Please remember this statement. Pods are in parallel. That means if that pod is created and it's gone, that same pod you cannot get it. You can get similar pod, not the same one. I understand that there's a difference. Same, you will never ever get it. Similar pod, you get it. So pods are inferior. No pods is ever redeployed. Atomicity, they are there or not. Simple logic. Pods are available, and if it's not available, it's not at all available. It will not be available, it will never be available. Simple thing. Same pod, similar pod, you get it. So this is important. Now Kubernetes job is to keep your pods running. Basically, pods is running because the container is running, container is running because the Docker is container is running because the image quality, and that's what the objective is. More specifically, keeping your desired state, health, liveness, probe, and stuff like that. So guys, this is pod. So now, are you clear with the pod right now? So do you think still believe what is a pod? You have a confusion. What is a pod? What is a pod? Everyone? Guys?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, good. Okay, so guys, when you want the pod, you can say in the YAML, say, I'll tell you, remember this again, let me show you this. Do we have that? Do you have that image? Ha, it's there. This API server, multiple API. So when you have a pod, now whether this API server one endpoints there, one endpoint, but how this you'll decide whether you want this one or this one or this one or this one, which feature you want, because in Kubernetes you have hundreds of features. So how do you decide? So guys, you have to write in YAML file, I want pod or something else. How? Kind. Now there's a one API version you see here. So let me draw a picture one more time. Okay, this is your API server. Okay, I'm just drawing API server, not entire master. This is API server. Hundreds of API objects is there. This is one of the pod API server. Okay, and this is the one API server and URL is there. So when you send this YAML to here, then whether you want pod or something else, X, Y, Z, what? So you say kind is equal to pod. So this will redirect to this one. But actually here pod itself has been developed from last not 2 years, 6 years. So version, so many version you have. Okay, for time being version 1 is there only, but I'm just for the discussion sake I'm telling you which version you want, v1, v2, v3. So you have to tell in the this developed in 2008, 2009, 2010, like that. So which version you want? So you have to tell API version v1. So that way you have to declare that API version. So Kubernetes will come to know, okay, this is the version, this is the feature you want for this API. And API, what you can do typically, CRUD operation. This I'll talk about it, CRUD operations concept. So I'll talk about later. But yes, when you want the pod, guys, kind is equal to pod. But what is else? When you want multiple pods, see this pod, when you say kind is equal to pod, you get only one pod. But do you really want the one pod? Actually, no. How many pods you want? So many. So when you want so many pod, guys, here when you want so many pod, this guy, this is a declarative language. Remember, YAML is a declarative language. JSON is a declarative language. There is no looping. There is no while loop or for loop. Something you set like I is equal to 0 and I is less than 50 and create I to 1 to 49, 50 pod, you got it. No, it's not like that. It's a declarative language. You cannot have a looping here. So what to do in this case? What to do in this case? Then they created the new API object and they call it replication controller. So what exactly replication controller will do? Using this API object, you can create multiple pod. So many. See, there's one pod dot 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 as many. But on top of that replication controller, they have written one more object, which is called deployment. What is the deployment? So they have a feature, actually multiple feature. So pod, if you want one pod, kind is equal to pod. If you want a multiple pod, replication controller. When you want a multiple process rollout or rollback functionality, deployment. So yes, these are the three objects we will experience tomorrow. We will experience tomorrow. Okay. So this is the pod, replication controller, and deployment. So whenever I say, what do you want? One pod, pod. When you want multiple pod, RC or deployment. What is the difference between deployment and RC? I'll talk about during the demo. Now I think it will be waste of my time because you will not understand. I know that. So guys, did you understand this? Everything. Guys, did you understand that?
Yes.
Everyone? Services I'm not covering because too much of theory in one day is like very dangerous. So let's go into a demo actually. So that's all. Just give me a few seconds, guys. Okay, guys, did you understand this? Any questions before getting into the demo?
So Rajesh, I have a question. So can a master start new nodes? No, right? Automatically.
Master, no. A new node will be added by your hypervisor, cloud platform, and stuff like that.
Okay. And then you have to do some configuration to wire the master and the node, right?
Yeah, those kind of
Okay.
configuration can reconfigure itself.
Okay.
Minions you have to
But
set up. Minions.
okay, but dynamically you cannot start a new node, right?
Yeah, you can do that. That's there possible.
Okay.
I'll
Okay.
show you that. I'll show you the demo. You'll get a visibility.
All right. No problem.
Okay, guys. So can we get into the demo? Guys,
Yes,
Yes.
sure. Yes, sure.
it's important. For all of us is important. So this demo is important. There is no lab for this demo because I'm setting up the infrastructure for everyone. Okay, all of us. So please watch me doing it. It's not very difficult, by the way. Damn simple. So let's get started. So first thing, guys, in the Kubernetes cluster, how many things we have? Heads cluster. You help me actually. What we have in Kubernetes cluster?
API
Master,
server.
No. Kubernetes
Okay.
master,
cluster.
Master
And
nodes,
Worker.
worker.
Nodes.
worker.
nodes.
Yeah.
Worker
And
nodes
there's
and
one
same.
more workstation, which is right now. Now, master has which are the component?
API server,
API server.
Scheduler,
cluster, store.
Scheduler, controller.
scheduler control.
No, don't call controller. Controller manager. Controller is like one controller, but manage this manager. And this is a scheduler. SCHEDULAR. Now worker, guys,
Kubelet,
worker, kubelet, and then
Kube proxy.
kube proxy, Docker.
and workstation.
Nodes, nodes,
kubectl.
kubectl. Cube is there.
Right.
Pod,
So guys,
pod.
Yeah.
the idea here is look at my screen, please. It's very important actually. You must check it out very carefully. So guys, see here. Now, kubelet creates a pod, right? Initiate a pod, correct? No?
Yeah.
Yes.
Correct.
So this is agent. So everything comes from the agent only. So this has to be there. No discount. Now inside the pod, Docker is filling that container. So this is at the host level only, daemon mode. Correct now?
Yes.
Daemon. So there is no discount actually. Now you tell me, guys, Kubernetes says if you want to say I want to run my application, Kubernetes says okay, no problem, run your application, but where? Inside a pod. Think about it. Kubernetes asks you to run application inside a pod. So guys, this is application, this is application, this is application, this is application. So if they are giving you suggestion to run your own application in a pod, then they should follow their own suggestion, right?
Yes.
Yes, they should follow, and they followed actually. This is a pod. Now pod has what? Container. Container come from image. This image come from Google registry. Okay, Google registry.
Register.
So guys, something similar we have in each controller manager also. Shape. So guys, who create a pod?
Kubelet agent.
Kubelet.
Good.
So kubelet. So don't you think so? Kubelet agent has to be there in the master also. Don't you think so?
Yes.
Correct. As per the discussion, it has to be
Yeah.
there in the master also. Now, pod has a Docker container. Got it?
Yes.
So basically, this is itself is a one node cluster. This
Rajesh,
itself is a one node. Huh?
Rajesh, you mentioned that instead of Docker, other container management can also be used, right?
Yeah,
So
Rocket and all. Rocket.
in that case, this will be like an image of like you will have a different image of the master. Like
This image, Rocket image you can use. Yeah.
no, so the each and every like you mentioned, everything is API server, controller manager, scheduler. These are all images, right? Which are there, which could be downloaded from Google registry.
Yeah.
Is it like a package that is there, or it is like
So it's an image, Docker image, no? Image. Remember Docker image. Container, Docker. Sorry, forgot the Docker again. Are you remembering? Hello?
Yes.
Guys, are you clear or am I confusing you too much? Hello?
Yeah.
Yes, Rajesh, we are good.
Yeah.
Good.
Good.
Okay. So now let's move on. So guys, what is this? The one node cluster. One node
ಅದು ಮಾತಾಡ್ತಿದ್ಯಾ
cluster. One node cluster. Now the question is, one node cluster, how can we use it? For what we use it? Typically we use for the learning purpose. Kubernetes learning purpose. Okay. Now the question is, how can we create a one node cluster? Typically you can create through Minikube. Okay. Minikube. So even your laptop, if you want to create a one node cluster, you can create it. Minikube. This is the Minikube. Follow this, and it will create a VM virtual machines and stuff like that. One VM will have us everything. Everything means everything. Now,
So even
when
the
you set up a cluster,
so this Minikube will have even the master and nodes, right? Rajesh,
yeah, everything. It's a VM.
everything.
Okay, Minikube. What is a Minikube? So Minikube will create one VM. Okay, a Linux VM, and inside the Linux VM, everything will be there.
Okay.
Okay, for the production, not yeah. So there's someone from QTSR. There's some.
ಊಟ ಮಾಡಿದ್ಯಾ ನೋಡ್ದೆ ಫೋಟ ಚಂದ ಕಟ್ಟೆ
I think
Shantesh.
Sandesh.
Shantesh.
ಹೌದಾ ಈಗ ಓದು ಕಡೆ
Thank you. So production. So here production, how can you set up the production server? So guys, first you have to decide whether you want to set up production server manually or automatic. Manually what do you say that we call it what do you call it, physical server or something? I just miss these terminologies. I mean, your own server, simple, your own server. There's a nice word actually, that is your own server. Okay, so if you want to set up manual
On-prem,
base or
on-prem, right? On-prem or something else you're talking about?
or something like that. Yeah, I forgot actually. Uh, I'll tell you later. I forgot. Okay, forget about. So yeah, manually in your own server, if you want to set it up, or you want to set up automatic way in cloud. Okay, that's one thing. Or you want to outsource your Kubernetes cluster to cloud. There's the one thing. So if you set up a manually way, typically we use this KubeADM. Automatic in cloud, if you use kops. Outsource your Kubernetes cluster, that means someone else will manage that, not you. Cluster will manage by someone else. Forget about this. No installation, no setup, no configurations, no HA, no this, that. Everything will be done by them. Just remember to use it. So in AWS, we have a service which is EKS. In Azure, we have a AKS. In Google Cloud, we have a GKE. Okay. So now KubeADM, this is the recommended for certification also. This is for certifications also. Kops basically is one of the way to set up. Kops internally use the KubeADM also, but it has certain additional. It's good for the cloud. So where is the KubeADM, by the way? KubeADM. Everyone indirectly they use the KubeADM, but it's just the wrapper around it. So KubeADM, GitHub. See here. This is the KubeADM. Documentation, all or documentation available. So whichever way you want to set it up. Manual way. Kops. Here it is. Kops. For the cloud, I think 3 cloud is supported right now. Rest one is in a beta format. So which one this? Let me read this, because from last few months I've not read this. So it supports the AWS by default, GC in and OpenStack in beta. Okay, there's no much change. Same thing. VMware and Alpha. So yeah, as of now it's supporting AWS, GC in a beta, OpenStack in beta, vSphere in a alpha, and probably Azure not yet started. I was looking for Azure also, but it's not come. Okay, so this is the kops. EKS is a managed platform. You don't have to do anything. They will manage everything. So you just create, manage it, done by them. So it's like this. So guys, which one you want, by the way? Which one you want?
Manual?
QADM.
QADM manual one.
Okay. So question is how to set up Kubernetes clusters manual way. That's all, simple. So now guys, I need a few servers. So I'm setting up the servers. Please understand this. Here. Again, please look at my screen. It's a demo only, because I'm setting for all of us. So guys, here EC2. Manually you can set up in the physical servers also. But nowadays we don't use, so you are setting up the virtual machines. don't know whether AWS is slow or something stopping it. I don't understand this. This weekend I'm going to troubleshoot my laptop. Internet speed is good. Launching the instance, I needed two machines, one for the master, one for the worker. We'll go for the CentOS 7. Continue. So 2 CPU minimum required and 4 GB minimum. So I'm going for minimum. 2 machines I needed. Storage 30 GB is sufficient for time being. Name Kubernetes. No firewall I have opened. Launch key. So okay. So IP address. Master, worker, okay. Here I'm logging. Okay guys, so in the master I need all this utility. Which done? Docker first, kubelet first, kubelet, kubeadm, kubectl, CNI network, and all stuff like that. So these are the utility I need it. How do we get it? This you need in the worker also, by the way. Okay, so
But Rajesh, in the master, you also need the other master related software also, right? That is
which one?
in I mean the API, the
Docker
API servers.
images.
That will create later, no? These are the
Okay.
utility. These are not a
Okay.
pod. This is the pod.
Okay, got it. Okay.
So requirement, basic server requirement.
Please enroll our general membership for $399 plan to get access of all the parts.
Along with that, you can access our other tutorials such as Docker, Ansible, Jenkins, Terraform, Splunk, AWS, Azure, and various other DevOps related premium tutorials with our channel membership. If you would have any issues with our channel membership, you can drop an email to us at contact@devopschool.com, or you can also unsubscribe from channel membership anytime if you don't want to continue or did not like the video. To get our channel membership, click onto the join button, select the 3D99 plan and grow your skills immensely. Please be kind enough to like it, and you can comment any of your doubts and queries. We will reply to them at the earliest. Thanks for watching.